Welcome to the Redirect Podcast. My name is Abigail Freshley.
And I'm Emily Rojas. The Redirect Podcast is a show where we shift the conversation back to books. We discuss themes from some of our favorite books and how those themes relate to our real lived experiences.
On today's episode, we are discussing Wicked, the book, in anticipation for Wicked, the movie.
In much anticipation. Yeah. But before we get to that, we really would love to very humbly ask if you would support us in a few simple ways. The first thing you can do is go to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen and leave us a 5-star review and just let us know how much you love the show.
You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Redirect Podcast. And if you really, really love the show, you can share it with a friend. Look. We need this more than ever. Share joy with a friend. Share hope and laughter and love with a friend. Live, laugh, love.
And books.
And books. Helps us grow our community of book-loving nerds.
Yeah. Thank you.
How's it going, Emily?
Good. Thanks to everyone who has come back and listened to this episode after our last episode, which was recorded in I would say, more hopeful, a different time. And thank you guys for coming back.
I can't believe that was a week ago.
Disturbingly. 2 weeks ago, really, by the time this comes out. So,
hey, we're here to talk about something that has provided a lot of joy for my life. This is Wicked as like an institution.
Yeah.
Has been important to us for a long time.
We go way back. Yeah.
We go way back. So, our history with Wicked begins at the Fox Theater in Atlanta, Georgia, where for one, was it your birthday or was it for Emma's birthday?
It was for Emma's birthday. Friend of the pod, Emma.
We got tickets to see. Well, I don't think we did. I think my parents bought me a ticket to see Wicked at the Fox Theater.
Yes.
We got really super dressed up.
Yes.
And went to Cheesecake Factory. And
we did like a full photo shoot.
We'll post a photo of this.
Yes.
Because I don't know if you've heard that TikTok audio, right? That's like, why did me and my friends at 13 get so dressed up to go to the Cheesecake Factory? It's like, we were like, oh,
it's a rite of passage.
This is the height of culture, the height of fanciness.
No, literally. Yeah. Not only that, but like, just like, to me, I still feel this way going to a show, and I feel like people's attire has definitely relaxed, but definitely going to a show, I feel like you're supposed to look nice. Like, you are supposed to dress up.
Well, we were also just like so starved for any reason to look like we loved dressing up back then.
Yeah. And you know nothing wrong with that. But we got super dressed up for Emma's birthday. We surprise picked her up from school. She didn't know we were coming, and I guess you didn't live in Atlanta anymore by this point either. So that was probably
just
even
recently
bigger
moved.
surprise. Yeah. And then we went to her house, and I remember us getting ready there. Like, we had our outfits, our hair curled and makeup. And then we went to the Cheesecake Factory, and then we went to go see this. And I feel like I liked the musical Wicked prior to seeing it. But that's when it probably like popped off for me, for sure.
I had like heard some of the songs, but I didn't really know what the plot was.
No, I didn't know the plot probably.
I remember we had pretty good seats too. Yeah. I remember like sitting out during the intermission right after she finishes Defying Gravity.
Yes.
And I remember just honestly feeling like my life changed.
Yeah.
Like I was like, my gosh. Like, I can't believe I just saw that.
I remember too, like, we can talk about more about this when we get into like the movie and stuff, but the first half is very more stacked than the second half. The pacing is off for sure. And so I actually thought it was done. Like, Defying Gravity, and I was like, wow, that was so good. And they're like, oh no, there's another part to this. Like, you're gonna come back after in a few minutes and we'll watch part 2.
Yeah, same. I think I thought it was over too,
because every song,
like, what a way to
knows, end. Yeah. Any song, you know, probably if you're just a casual person, is definitely from part 1 of the musical. It's most likely not from the second part.
I just remember it was truly life changing. I was just like, this is a cultural reset for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like not to like be super hyperbolic and stuff, but I feel like this was like set me on my trajectory of like womanhood. Like fully. Like it was so important to me.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I mean, I think everyone when they're 13 or 14. I think I was 14 and you guys were, Emma was turning 14 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was her 14th birthday.
I like everyone at that age pretty much feels like they're different or weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just like seeing this, you know, I felt that for sure. Like I felt really insecure in myself. I felt like I was really tall and like weird and loud and off-putting, and some of that was true. But wow, do you hear the sirens that are going off in the background?
Yeah, it's okay.
Just there's so many.
It's part of your life. It
is part of my life,
you know.
Anyways, I just like seeing Elphaba be this literally, you know, different character, and having this like extremely empowering moment. I was like, oh my God. And also I really related to her that she was like, I'm not that girl, you know, like just being like, oh, I'm not like loved, but then she was, you know, all that.
Totally. Yeah. So for me, I can also post this picture, but I came to Wicked through performing in my school's talent show in the 6th grade.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
My friend Caroline asked me, she was like, okay, every school has a girl who's like the best singer you've ever heard in your life, you know, at a young age. That was Caroline. She was just like the greatest singer anyone had ever heard. And so she asked me to be her Glenda to her Elphaba, and we did one short day. And I had never heard of Wicked before that. And so she asked me, we practiced, we did it. I was Glenda. I had a white sparkly dress. It was very fun. It was an iconic moment for me, to be honest. And then I kind of didn't really think about it too much. But then the next year she asked me if I would want to do, For Good, also from Wicked, like reprise it. And then she ended up doing something else with someone else. But when I started getting into, I was like, let me learn For Good in case she wants to do that for the talent show. And then that's when I kind of went on my trajectory of learning more about Wicked. And so I got super into Wicked. Then my grandmother, who was always really good at giving presents for birthdays and Christmas that were like things we were actually interested in, she knew I was into Wicked. And so she got me, I tried to Google it. I believe it must have been like the 5th anniversary of the original Broadway cast recording, based on the timeline, because it was not too long after, you know, it wasn't so far after the original premiere of Wicked. And it had like multiple discs. It had the original cast. It had some like bonus songs.
Oh, right, because it's not like we could just go on Spotify and like stream the original Broadway cast. Like you knew someone who had the CD, or you like, you know, sprung for the
YouTube,
iTunes money.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, trying to spend my iTunes gift cards on other stuff.
Exactly. So that was a great gift. The thing is, though, to transition to what we're talking about, she did also buy me the 4th book in the series. And to be clear, I was 12. Oh,
Grammy.
This is like, it's like, look, parents these days, I feel like, are way more controlling over what their kids are reading. They're trying to ban everything. Obviously not all parents, but like my parents straight up never evaluated what I was reading. And apparently neither did my grandparents before they bought me books. But I just want to be very clear. These books are definitely not for children or even young adults. Like they're definitely for adults.
They're adult.
Very adult.
They're dark. I mean, this book, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we will. Not yet.
I feel like if we ever have merch one day, we need a shirt that, or like a mug that says, we'll get into it. Because we say that all the time. But anyways, and will they ever get into it? We don't know.
Yeah,
but,
unclear.
But it's like, you know, it's dark.
Yeah, it's dark.
I saw somebody on Reddit in my research for this episode. Of course, I went to Reddit, and someone said,
me too.
Wicked the book is an answer to the Oz books. Wicked the musical is the answer to the Wizard of Oz movie.
Yeah. That makes sense for sure.
I mean, yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Have you ever read the Wizard of Oz books?
No, I've not. Have you?
Yeah, I haven't either. So can't really speak to that.
Cool.
But definitely, like, the musical is a different take, obviously, but it's way less dark.
Yeah,
and way more happy ending. So as musicals should be.
Yeah, so that is like how we've come to this place for magic. We came to this through being young women.
Also, we are both very, very much musical theater people. Had we not had those formative experiences, we would have come to Wicked another way. Like, I
would have come in another way. It would have found me.
It would.
I do love. Okay, this is tangent, but have you gotten on Ragtime the Musical TikTok?
No.
Okay, well, you should.
Yes, I have. What am I talking about? I totally have.
Okay, I have long time been a fan of Ragtime the Musical.
Yes.
I just want to say that I'm a Ragtime hipster.
Yes.
I, for over 10 years, have been really into Ragtime the Musical.
Yes.
Also, specifically because in the original Broadway cast, the guy who sings Make Them Hear You is the same guy who is... plays Jethro in The Prince of Egypt. Sure. And I would know that cheeky motherfucker anywhere. Anyways, so I just want to say that it is a really emotional place over at Ragtime the Musical. And if you are so inclined, you might want to put that into your TikTok search bar and start getting that fed to you on your For You page.
Yeah, it's apt. Mm-hmm. That's why it's been on my For You page. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're both big musical theater people, so we would have found this one way or another. And we're very excited, just to be clear, extraordinarily excited for the musical adaptation.
I am excited about the movie, but I'm a little nervy.
Sure.
Here's some things I'm nervous about. Mm-hmm. Actually, this is like a hot take. Ariana Grande is what I'm a little nervous about. You know, I think she has like less like grit and edge than I think like, I mean, you're always going to compare it to the original Broadway cast. So
I know,
I'm going to be comparing it to the Kristen Chenoweth Glinda.
Yeah. Which is like, talk about someone who was born to play that role,
literally born to do it. I'm not feeling worried about Cynthia Erivo.
No,
I think that'll be okay. I am definitely not that worried about the man playing Fiyero.
Yeah, when I say I'm excited for this movie, I mean like I need to see Jonathan. Why did I almost say Jonathan Majors? That's not
him.
Jonathan Bailey. I need to see him specifically
Night and day I dream of you.
As Fiyero. So
you are like the bane everything of else, my existence.
Yeah.
You are the bane of my existence. Object of all my desires.
Object of all my desires.
Exactly. Like everything else could be bad and I'll be all right, But I don't think everything else will be bad. I think I'm very interested in the part 1 and part 2. Honestly, I was against it. But I've heard a lot of people say that it's almost 3 hours, part 1, the movie. And so I've heard a lot of people say that there was nothing they felt could be cut. And what I'm most concerned and interested to see is how they balance part 2, because that is notably a less happens in part 2 of the musical. Mm-hmm. There's less iconic songs. So I'm interested how they'll fill that out. I think absolutely part 1 can be a part 1. I'm more concerned about the second part.
Well, I'm thinking probably if you remember from the musical, there's a quick montage at the beginning that does some history telling about Elphaba's parents. And
yes,
it's kind of it's really fast. The book went into it a lot, and it's loosely derived from the book.
Right.
But they probably will spend more time on that, because I would say in the musical, that part's a little confusing.
Yeah, I think there are some things that are rushed in the musical for sure that can be developed more. So I'm not anti 2 parts. I'm just interested how they'll balance them. But yeah.
But also, how familiar are you with the conspiracy theory that the Wizard of Oz is cursed?
Super familiar.
Okay. I would
Why don't you explain to the listeners?
I believe it, actually.
Yeah.
So basically, starting with The Wizard of Oz, the movie, starring Judy Garland, a lot of stuff happened on that set. First of all, Judy Garland went on to have a pretty tragic and depressing life. She's the OG child star who had a tragic experience being a star. There's this, we'll link it in the show notes, like a Time article about like what's true and what's not true about the movie being cursed. The makeup that they used for the actors made them all sick. Like the green paint and like the for like the Tin Man and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it wasn't the Tin Men like metal poisoned.
Yeah. Somebody stepped on
horrifying.
Toto. And like there was like weird vibes. All the actors from that movie kind of went on to like have kind of dark things happen to them in the future.
Yeah,
And
like as a result. Not not unrelated, but as a result of,
Exactly. Also, like, it was the first movie of its kind, really. Like, they spent what would be the equivalent now of $55 million on this movie, which back then was like totally unheard of. They were doing a bunch of special effects for the first time. The broom that the Wicked Witch of the West used caught on fire. Like, there was a bunch of stuff that just like went wrong. And people are bringing this back up again because handling this delicately, because I certainly don't want to comment too much on women's bodies, but it's very apparent that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande have become extremely thin over the course of the press tour of this movie.
Yeah.
And people are wondering if that had to do with something that went on set, if it's like an unhealthy dynamic between the two of them, like what's going on. But there's been like reportedly Ariana Grande had some like fainting spells from like hunger. I don't know. What have you heard about this?
Honestly, I haven't heard much other than just speculation, which obviously, like you said, no need to comment on people's bodies. But like, it's one thing to be like making fun of someone or presuming for sure they have eating disorders or whatever. Obviously we don't want to do that, but it is like, if you see, there is a level where you see someone and it's like, okay, you don't look healthy. And so what is going on?
It's less about them as individuals and more about like the context of what they share, which is this movie.
Yes, exactly. And so I don't know. All I've heard is really speculation and obviously people commenting on it, but either way, whether the movie's cursed or not, it's very concerning. And I hope that none of that's true and there's other things going on or whatever that can explain that. But, you know, or that she gets the help she needs. But it is concerning for sure.
Yeah, and Cynthia Erivo, too. Like, Yeah. There's also been some other controversy surrounding the press of the movie because there was like a mini scandal where like a TikTok creator edited the movie poster to look more like the original Broadway poster, but in so doing, in the original Broadway poster, it's a cartoon and you can't see the cartoon's eyes. But then she edited it to make it look like like basically obscures Cynthia Erivo's face. And then didn't she make a comment about it? Like she made because it started going viral
on her Instagram, I think, and was like, "You're erasing me and dehumanizing me or something." Not great.
So there was that. I mean, I think like this movie is either going to be great or it's going to be a flop. Like it's one of those things. I know that they did the Les Mis thing where they
sang live.
They sing live, which I appreciate and like. So
yeah, I do too. Actually, I know that's also controversial. Yeah, but I like it. So
I do too. I will be sad.
I will be there. Yeah, if not opening night, shortly after. But you know, it's interesting.
Yeah. So we read the book.
Yeah.
Where this all started. So this book, okay, I got my copy of this book was from Thrift Books.
Mine as well.
And it was like one of the like original print copies.
Oh.
It was in really great condition, but like there's a price tag on the inside. It was like sold for like $11. It's like original price. Wait, hold yours up. Yeah. With the like circle thingy, the cutout.
Mine it was $16, so it must not be a first edition.
So that was cool, and I was like, wow, this really was a different time. Like, reading it from that paperback reminded me like the context of which this like of what the world was like when this book came out.
Yes, which is when we were born, 1995.
Yeah.
So A long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yes.
And so different world,
Very
which
different.
I have to say I think is really important because one of the first things that came up for me when reading this book was like male gaze. This is a book
Yes.
centering around a female character who is complicated, and the male gaze of this book is unavoidable.
It is,
At
for sure.
every twist and turn, I'm just like, and like, I don't think that the character was bad, but she was clearly written by a man.
Yes. And I think it's also complicated, and something I'll just spoiler alert, I did not enjoy the experience of reading this book. I understand that a lot of people like it, a lot of people hate it, and to be clear, like I read the original book in the series before I ever saw the musical, so I feel like I had an understanding of what I was coming into. And I had a weird experience. I read the 4th book in this series first, but I think I didn't like what you're saying, that it's very clearly written by a man, but it's also like doubly layered upon that is that you never really get Elphaba's perspective, really. You almost don't get anyone's perspective, but especially like to me, so many key moments in Elphaba's journey are described through the perspective of other people.
Yes.
And it felt like it was just constantly, I don't know, it was like, I didn't like that, and I didn't like whatever that. We'll just stay with that one. I have other critiques, but that's one of the things I didn't like was like you're constantly viewing her through other people, but you're supposed to also understand this journey of her as this complicated figure. But I didn't feel like I really could, because it was like, what is really going on in her mind?
Because you're not feeling
really
her emotions.
Right. Does she really care about her sister? Does she really love Fiyero? Does she really like Glinda? Does she really like, all these experiences she has throughout her life? You almost don't even understand anything
Which
about
is
them.
like, I would say, the epitome of the male gaze. It's like she is reduced to the way that other people, specifically like Fiyero, her dad, the wizard, like the way that they perceive her.
Bach even. Yeah, there's a big portion from Bach's perspective. Yeah.
Totally. And it's like, you're always like, it feels like you're always about to break through and like try and understand her motivations. And it always remains a mystery. And like, that felt frustrating because the point, it felt to me, of this book was to show her perspective.
Yes.
It's like,
that's what you would
maybe
think.
Like she's an anti-hero, or like she's actually a hero. Like, So yeah, that's frustrating. I wouldn't say it's a bad book.
No.
I would say I didn't enjoy reading it that much.
Yes, I felt actually okay. This is maybe a hot take. My experience of reading this book was very similar to my experience reading the Bible. In that, okay, it's a lot of world building, but without any explanation. Like, you're just thrown into a world that's like intensely, like, there's words just thrown around, which is fine. And it's about a character, but again, like, you don't get that character's perspective, like as in the Bible. It's about God, but you don't get Jesus' or God's perspective. And I felt like my biggest issue with this book, it felt like everything was written about without any emotion. And the really like climactic portions of this book, it would immediately cut away to like 10 years later.
Yes. Oh my God.
I was like, so like, we're just supposed to understand that, for example, Fiyero dies and we're instantly cut to 10 years later. She's been like a nun and has taken a vow of silence, and then was a nun for many years and like is in exile. I don't know, whatever. Like, so that happens constantly throughout this book, where it's like we're building up this affair with her and Fiyero. She's like going through this resistance in the city, trying to take down the wizard. They like, are they in love? Are they not? You don't really know. He's brutally murdered, and then it's like, that's it. There's no, and then you're just supposed to understand in retrospect that, that was like a key moment in her life and like super pivotal and pivotal, and like, that's fine. Again, it's not poorly written. It's just, for me, I'm like, when I read a book, I want to like to me, I want way more of the emotional relationship stuff and way less world building. And this is, if you like a well-built world and like a political critique and a very interesting characterization of a fairy tale, like I think you would like this. For me, that's not really what I'm looking for in the books I read, but that was my biggest problem, for sure.
Yeah, I want to get to like the political themes and
for sure
all of that kind of stuff in a second. I would say like just wrapping up the male gaze conversation. I feel like this also showed up with Glinda.
Yes.
And the contrast that was drawn between Glinda and Elphaba. So big difference from the book. I mean, from the musical is that Glinda and Elphaba aren't even really like homies like that. Like they kind of are, but like the musical is a lot more about their relationship and over time. And like this was not about that so much. And Glinda is like somebody who like she kind of quickly comes around to Elphaba, but then ends up kind of being this like beautiful but kind of vapid and ignorant political actor. Like she has all the power and influence, but she doesn't really use it for good. She kind of uses it to maintain the status quo. And she never really like comes to fruition as like a true accomplice for Elphaba. On the other hand, she kind of remains like she remains kind of like this stagnant like non-entity, which also just kind of feels male gazy because it's like you can be like beautiful and popular and like well loved and liked and stupid and ineffective.
Right.
Or you can be like really intelligent, like complicated, interesting, but like ugly and unlovable. Yeah.
Which is also like the Nessa Rose is a different version of that same thing. Like no arms, can't walk, but does eventually rise to power and becomes sort of like a religious fanatic versus like a political activist, you know, but like the same side of a coin or a different side of the same coin as Elphaba.
And Glinda can never really come into her power because she's just too beautiful.
She's pretty, yeah, and vapid,
like so that was frustrating. However, I did think that the world of the book was really, I mean, I feel like at its core, this is a book about like racism, and xenophobia and like political systems and
like division as control.
Yes, it's like 100% like dividing the working class of Oz essentially into factions, so they feel like they're enemies against each other instead of taking over the elite, and they're taught to fear each other and whatever. So yeah, that was really interesting, and I liked that like lens on it. And like the different ways that people choose to plug into it too was interesting.
Yeah, I will definitely say to me the most interesting parts of this book were like the political commentary, the world building in that sense of like the animals, capital A animals versus lowercase animals, and kind of like especially the most interesting part of the book was when they were at Shiz, like building up as Elphaba slowly like starts to try to understand kind of the context in which we all exist. But that's like, you know, as she's kind of learning and coming into her ideology, I think that was the most interesting part to me. But yeah, I don't know. I was not vibing with this book other than that. But I do understand why people like it. To me, it's also the same kind of vibe as the Hunger Games book that I didn't like, because it's also like, I just need somebody to root for. And while, of course, Elphaba is kind of the protagonist, and she's like someone you can think is mostly, you know, on the right path for a good portion of the book. It's like we said, it's like so written through the male gaze and like so not in her mind that it felt hard to like, there was no one to like grasp onto. And the characters you did get more of, I feel like were so fleeting. Like you get so much Bach and then he's kind of
and it never comes to fruition, really.
Yeah, and there's no payoff. Yeah.
And in the musical, she does they do a really good job of like, oh, Fiyero is a scarecrow and like Bach is the Tin Man or whatever. That was not clear here. Like it's
my understanding is that none of that is
except for that the Lion Cub,
the Lion Cub rescued. Is a similar kind of story. But yeah, the Tin Man and the Scarecrow are not related.
Yeah, the Tin Man was like, they do set up the Tin Man a little bit because it's like the person, there's like a guy who comes.
Right. The axe thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in this world, like they use scarecrows as some sort of like idol. I don't know. It was weird. Like that was just, it was, all these things are like half baked and like, you're right. It's like reading the Bible. You're like, I'm going to have to read like multiple different like annexes and like commentaries.
Text. Yes.
To understand what's going on.
Which is incredible. Like the ability to build out a world like this that is very different from The Wizard of Oz, but has a lot of the same like terminology and like it's familiar enough. That's amazing. It's just like that's also not what I want to read.
Yeah.
You know?
One of the big things I'm remembering now that just really annoyed me, I'm feeling annoyed about it right now, is that they're like, yeah, during this big time jump, when Elphaba was a nun, she might have had a son, but she doesn't remember because it's too hard for her brain. Which that is, again, I was just like, yeah, like she could have blocked memories out, but y'all, like, she's like cruel to this kid. Like she wouldn't, and like it turns out like he's Fiero's son.
Right.
And she carried him and delivered him, but forgot.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like,
she was like in a coma. Yeah. Again, it's like, I can't even describe it better than reading the Bible because it's like, reading this is almost like you are implied to already understand that is her son. And you should have known that from the first moment.
Yeah, you should have.
So then
you should have just known that.
The context clues, you're like, oh, she doesn't remember. That's how. And I did know because I've read the fourth book already. And that's about, I believe, Elphaba and Fiero's granddaughter, if I remember correctly, or grandson, their whatever, grandchild. So I knew obviously she had some descendants before she dies. And so I knew that already, but it's like you're supposed to have already known that all this has happened, and this is just giving you the context and the backstory, which I guess is the case because you're supposed to already have the Wizard of Oz in your mind, and this is kind of like a backwards explanation, but it's just so different that you're like, okay, yeah, massive time jump with little explanation.
Yeah. I'll say something positive, which is that I liked the way that he breadcrumbed some stuff like the ruby slippers. Yeah. Over time, like that was cool. And then also, I think there was another breadcrumb about the hot air balloon that the wizards like came to this world with.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think you're like meant to. Oh yeah, you're meant to imply that Elphaba isn't really her dad's daughter. She's the daughter of the wizard.
Yes.
Which is just like in the musical, but like, there are some good breadcrumbs of that. Yeah. So that was nice. I enjoy little nods like that.
Yeah. This book made me feel like, am I just dumb? Am I just too stupid to enjoy this?
No.
Maybe I am.
We aren't dumb. I think some people are dumb.
Yeah.
You're not dumb.
I think it's just about what you enjoy. And for me, this wasn't what I would enjoy, but it was very interesting. I don't know. I think it's fun. It was an interesting experience reading it and knowing the musical. I don't know. Would you recommend that if someone has never seen the musical, they're going into this movie blind, that they chase it with the book or read it before or ever read the book?
I'm actually just good on just listen to this and skip it. It's not a bad book, but just to be honest, I didn't enjoy reading it. If what we've described sounds like something you would enjoy reading, like yourself, but it wasn't bad. I just didn't enjoy it. And also it is a book written by a man about a woman in 1995.
Yeah. Say no more.
I don't know. I don't have enough. My time on this earth is finite. My time to read and enjoy books is finite. And I don't, with a few exceptions, I would probably say, I'm not that interested in reading books about strong female main characters written by men.
That is very true, actually.
With maybe a few exceptions. But as a general
especially
guiding
these
principle,
days.
I'm pretty good, actually. Thank you.
So I will say a big change was, just to go back to the differences, Fiero is could not be recognizable to movie Fiero. He is first of all, non-white. That's
Yeah,
strike
and
one.
he's like emo. Also has like he's like
Yes.
a goth kind of, and he
Yes.
has a wife.
He has a full wife from age 7, which is another, I get it. It's a different culture, but not for me. Yeah, so he has a wife. He's never, I mean, am I dumb? Was he ever with Glinda or
No. There was no love triangle at all.
Okay, no love triangle. So he's just, and
Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
the thing. It's like they kind of in the musical melded the whole Bach and
Yes.
Fiyero thing. Like Bach was interested in Glinda, which is
Yeah.
true in the musical, but he never gets with Nessa. And then
No.
Fiyero never likes Glinda and she never likes him. And he only kind
Yeah.
of like halfway gets with Elphaba and then he dies all of a sudden.
Yeah. And there's no like, it's
Why?
very
I
interesting.
thought till the end he was not really going to be dead. I thought he was going to be
I thought so too, because it's like kind of keeps saying like, well, we think he's
His body
dead,
was never
but
found.
His body's never found. Yeah, no. So I even googled him. Like in later books, does Fiyero come back? No, he's straight up just dead. Which
Okay.
that was again another thing. Like it's never really like paying off, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, he's like super quiet, and I also felt like again. You're just not giving me the details I want, because later I felt like it was sort of implied that Fiyero and Elphaba had some kind of special relationship when they were in school, but in the school chapters I feel like they were just all buddies and there was no other like connection between them, or like they didn't have any scenes together. I felt like
And
they're
again,
just
if we had a look into Elphaba's thoughts and feelings, maybe we would that.
No. So yeah, they come together. Everyone thinks Elphaba is kind of like missing after she runs off and goes underground. Then Fiyero runs into her. They end up having this affair, and he like is refusing to go back to his wife and child. And then she says, "I love you," and he's like, "I don't know." Like, maybe I love you, I'm not sure. And then she's about to do like a terror attack, and then he's killed. Then you jump 10 years.
Yeah, also the circumstances of his dying was very confusing to me. I couldn't
Yes.
tell, like, is this like oh, hello, Bodhi.
Yeah, sorry if you can hear him whining in the back.
No, I don't hear him whining. I
almost
just see him.
dinner.
He looks really cute.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was all confusing, and I just felt like kind of cheated. Like, I feel like there's a bunch of storylines that could have come all the way to completion and then just like drop. Yeah.
I just want like more. I want more of a narrative. I am way more interested in plot than character development and world building. Always. And that's me. I want a fast moving plot. This is not that. If you are way more interested in some kinds of character development and world building, this definitely is a good book for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to, after we see the movie, finishing our conversation about this on our thoughts.
Yes, I'm very interested. I'm interested if they'll also incorporate any of the book stuff into the movie. Obviously not some of the more disturbing elements for sure, but
Maybe more
like,
of the backstory.
Yeah, like more of the political stuff. Yeah, more stuff about like the animals, the magic, the religious elements. There's a lot of like weird religious stuff.
A lot of religious elements.
So I would be interested if any of that makes it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Before we go, is there anything you've read recently you want to share?
Okay, so many things. I feel like I have to talk about 3 good things, because last episode I talked about 2 bad things. Okay, first of all, I finally read Bride.
Oh. Okay.
It was so good.
You was so good, right?
It was so good.
I mean, it's crazy. This was your very first tiptoe into the Omegaverse, right?
Yes, I have never experienced that before. Had to do some Googling, but
It's crazy.
That part was wild. But I thought like this is what I want in a male main character, is this wolf guy. He's like strong, but like tender, he's good with kids, but he's like a good leader, he's like leading the pack, making executive decisions, taking charge, but he's like thoughtful, this is what I want. I don't care about anything else. Like, look, like you said, it's just freaking the most simple world building ever, to contrast with the book we just read.
It's just like so easy to understand, like immediately.
hey, there's vampires, there's humans, there's werewolves. They all hate each other. Period.
And we're
That's all you
in
need
a
to know.
our regular world. There's a place where werewolves live, a place where vampires live, a place where humans live.
And you're like, that makes no
Bada
sense,
bing.
but I don't care. I don't care. I still love it. Yeah, I had a really good time. I couldn't stop reading it. It was so good. Also, I saw that there's a sequel coming soon. So
There is. That's so great.
I guess it's going to be about, I forget their names now, but like her friend who was like part human, part werewolf.
But yeah, sure.
She had the friend who they found out at the end was like actually part werewolf. She thought
that's
she was
right, that's
full
right.
human. And then there's one of the other werewolves. I think they're going to have
Hell yeah.
a moment. Okay, so that was great. Thank you. I finally came through on
So
Libby.
glad you read it.
It was so good.
I'm so glad you liked it too. I feel like the whole time I was reading it, I was like, this is crazy. I love it.
But
though.
I love it.
I love it.
Okay. Also, Listen for the Lie. Have you ever read this by Amy
No.
Tintera? Okay, this is like a 5-star for me. It was so good.
Whoa,
So
okay.
this book is okay. You know what it's like? Rabbit Hole, but better. The book you also recommended to me, I think. So basically, this girl Lucy, she is from a small town in Texas. Everyone thinks one night, she was at a wedding. Her and her best friend, Savannah or Savvy, they leave the wedding together. And that is the last time that Savannah is seen alive. Lucy is found the next day with blood, Savannah's blood on her skin underneath her nails, and no memory of what happened the night before.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Everyone obviously thinks she did it, but there's no other evidence. There's no like witnesses. There's no murder weapon. There's no like clear indication of what happened. So she's not charged. She moves away to LA to escape her life. She lives in anonymity for 5 years. And then a true crime podcaster goes to her hometown.
This book was made in a lab for you.
Yes. Massively successful podcast. All of a sudden her job fires her. Her boyfriend breaks up with her because she is now known as a person who is a murderer. The problem is she also has no memory of that night. So she doesn't even know if she's the one who killed her or not.
Yeah.
So she decides she's going to help the podcaster uncover the truth about what happened, whether it leads to her or whether it leads to someone else. There is small town intrigue. Everyone knows everyone's business. The characters are really interesting. The resolution was very satisfying. I think that you will like this. If you are listening to the sound of my voice, you will like it. So good. Finally, I won't go into this too much, but I read The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins, which I accidentally said the other day that I had already read, but I had not already read this. So I read it. I couldn't stop reading it. It was so good. You've talked about this before. I like Rachel Hawkins. I couldn't stop reading this one either. I was up in the middle of the night, couldn't sleep. I would read it on my phone. So it was really good. 3 for 3. Great books. All for different tastes.
So what I'm hearing is that I'm great at recommending books.
You are great at recommending books. You are 2 out of those 3. And I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I have also read a few bangers.
Great.
So I have a few. So
Yeah, go
people for a long, long time have been telling me to read The Secret Life of Addie LaRue.
Sure.
And they were right. I did really enjoy it. It's like, like a time travel historical type beat. Really enjoyed it. This is not a hot take. It's like obviously a very popular book, but I did really like it. And specifically to my sister, who's been telling me I should read this book for a long time. If you're in the sound of my voice, I did read it and it was good.
Amazing.
And also I read a couple other quick things. One is a book called Art and Gwen Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. This was super cute. This is like a medieval times, like romance type thing about a guy or a girl named Gwen Dylan and a guy named Arthur. And Gwen is the princess of England and she's betrothed to this guy, Arthur, but they are like not in love with each other. They don't like each other. They're kind of like enemies. But it turns out it's because they would never like each other because both of them are gay.
Okay.
And there's like this cool female knight that like Gwen has weird feelings for. And then like when it comes about time for like Art and Gwen to really start their courtship, like Art starts feeling interesting feelings for her brother, the future King of England, Gabriel.
Oh gosh.
And so it's like
Yeah.
it's cute, it's fun. Does like for people who really care about this being historically accurate, like it's not, obviously.
Yeah.
But you'll learn a lot also about like Arthurian legend is like a big part of this book. Like they're living in a time where there's like a lot of people who still believe in like King Arthur and that he's going to come back and like rule England. And it was really sweet and cute and I enjoyed it.
Oh, that sounds great.
And then the last thing I'll share, sorry, I'm sharing 3.
Yes. No.
Is a book called Amore Actually.
Okay.
It is a little Christmassy book.
Cute.
And it's an anthology, but it's really cool. It's by like, I think there's 10 stories, but they're all from Latino authors and they all got together and were like, what if we wrote a book that was like Love Actually, the movie, but it was like Latino.
Sure.
And so using the very basic plot lines of the different storylines in the movie Love Actually, they each took on a different story. And it's all about people who are going to come to the same Noche Buena dinner on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And their love story is getting there. And they're all like linked somehow. So they're derived from the stories in Love Actually. Like there is a recently widowed dad.
Yeah.
There's co-workers, you know, like that kind of thing. It's just like, it's loose, but you'll be able to pick it up if you know the movie well. And was it a perfect book? No. Was it really fun? Yes. And I really enjoyed it, and it's like a cute little holiday snack.
No, that sounds really cute. I am very interested in that.
Yeah, you should read it.
Okay, great. Also, I wanted to say really fast before we wrap this up, I have started reading Conclave, and so I'm really excited to share more about that. But I am really liking it so far. It's like it sucks you right in. It just throws you right into it.
I know.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to go see the movie soon, so I'm trying to finish it. So,
okay, exciting times.
Very exciting times.
What a time to be alive.
You know what we were going to talk about, which we didn't, is our book exchange.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Idea.
Yes. If you made it this far, we have to tell you. We're going to do a book exchange. We will be posting something on social media. We will have already done it by the time this comes out. And then we'll do it again after to make sure you know. And we'll say what the deadline is. Haven't figured out when the deadline is yet, but I'll tell you.
Work in progress.
Work in progress. We just thought it would be fun. You know, the world sucks pretty bad right now. If you don't think that the world sucks pretty bad right now, maybe this podcast isn't for me. Just kidding. I mean, listen to this podcast if you want, but we disagree with you. But it couldn't hurt to spread love more.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that by doing a little book exchange, linking you with somebody else that you probably don't already know from this community, and you guys can send each other a book. It'll be very cute and fun.
There's never a bad time, but now is a good time to connect with other people, to share books you love, and, you know, make the community of book-loving nerds friends with each other.
Totally.
So,
and it's like, share love, share books, happiness.
Yeah, and tell a friend to tell a friend. So,
yeah, anyone can participate.
Share more information on that soon, but
TDV.
TDV. Okay, that's it.
Okay,
chaotic
bye.
episode. We love you. Bye.